I'm Agathangelou. I'm the founding chair of the Chartered Institute of Payroll Professionals Friends of Automatic Enrolment group. So by its very nature, automatic enrolment requires a very high degree of understanding between the different market participants. And to get that level of understanding, what's absolutely necessary has been collaboration. And we'd like to think that the Friends of Automatic Enrolment group has played a very important part in bringing market participants together, so that pension understands payroll, payroll understands pension, and the technology part of the industry can actually understand both parts of the equation too. So without a doubt, collaboration has been absolutely necessary, and we've very much seen it as our part to actually drive that collaboration forward. And based upon the feedback that we've been getting, it seems like we've done a reasonable job of that. There are many challenges in automatic enrolment. We can think of those challenges in terms of risks. Without a doubt, in my mind, one of the most significant risks that we have to accept is the data security risk, with lots and lots of personal private information being moved around from one place to another, sometimes even in such an elementary way as unencrypted Excel spreadsheets. That's a real worry. It's a real worry. Surely the marketplace has a responsibility to take care of data as well as it can. And clearly, data interfaces, data hubs, data exchanges are a far more robust, a far safer, a more 21st century way of moving data around. One of my pleas to the marketplace as a whole is please take data security as a risk, as a top priority, and do all you can to protect the privacy of your employees. One of the challenges we've had to deal with is a simple fact that each of the pension providers have been using their own data formats. And that's a complete headache. Imagine being a payroll bureau having to reconfigure the data processes you're using in many different ways depending upon the data formats required. In terms of the solution, what was necessary was a free and open data standard that the entire market could use if it wanted to. And PensionsYP, an organisation I also chair, has worked tirelessly over the last couple of years, putting together a free and open data standard called PAPDIS, the Pensions and Payroll Data Interface Standard. And that's been seen as by the marketplace as a very pragmatic way forward. One of the reasons why efficiency and automation is so important is because the automatic enrolment marketplace tends to be quite low margin, both for payroll and for pensions. And the last thing that we want to see is pension providers exiting the market because they can no longer see viable, sustainable profit margins in the AE space. So there's a direct correlation here between how efficient can you be and to what extent can you continue to play in the marketplace. So we certainly want pension providers and payroll providers to make the best possible use of technology that they can, so that they can stay in the game, they can continue to provide the marketplace with the choice that it needs. One of the characteristics of both the pensions market and the payroll market has been the amount of change taking place over the last 5-10 years or so. And both the pensions and the payroll industries have been challenged to actually cope with that level of change. So what we have at the moment is a situation where providers in pensions and payroll have had to come to terms with this new reality, but of course they can't just switch overnight. They can't suddenly rebuild their systems at great cost, especially when part of the market is actually still moving. We aren't getting a solid state situation, and there are other issues around automatic enrolment, for example, small pots and pension dashboards, and all these sorts of things have to be taken into account. And those that have a reluctance to actually spend significant sums reconfiguring their systems are able to use something to interface with PAPDIS. And clearly, pensionsync, system sync solutions are part of that conversation to be had. I think that if we look back in years to come, we will consider the ways that we were moving data from payroll to pensions as having been pretty rudimentary and frankly quite unsafe. Using Excel spreadsheets, using CSV files, sometimes not even in an encrypted format, obviously leads to all sorts of potential risks. So there'll probably come a time when we'll be a little bit embarrassed about how things were being done. However, we are where we are, and the direction of travel certainly is very, very positive. Automation has to be the way to go, APIs are the way to go, and I'm absolutely convinced that both the pensions industry and the payroll industry will get to a point of convergence around these new technologies and enable the full use of data interfaces